Hello, welcome back to Golden Flame Travels. In our last video, we showed you the endless sun-baked plains of the Serengeti. Today, we want to take you to the next stop on our Tanzanian safari, a place that looking back still feels like a dream. We're talking about the Ngorongoro Crater. Looking at the caldera, it doesn't feel real. It's been called a lost world and it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The scale was just impossible to capture on camera. And down there, thousands of feet below, is a self-contained world teeming with over 30,000 animals. It's a place we had always dreamed of visiting, and in this video, we're going to show you exactly what it was like to descend into the crater. Getting there was an adventure itself. We drove from the Serengeti, and I can't even describe the drive. It was long and so dusty. We were bouncing around in the Jeep for hours. But then, almost like magic, the entire scenery changed. As we got closer to the Ngorongoro Conservation Area, the flat, golden, endless savanna disappeared. We started climbing in altitude and suddenly everything was green and lush. The air got cooler, we were driving through mist, and it felt like we'd entered a completely different country. We saw so many gazelles along the way, almost like a little welcome party leading us to the rim. Before checking into our lodge, we went for a crater rim walking safari. This was our first real look at the crater and we just went silent. We were completely blown away by the size, the history, and the sheer uniqueness of it. That evening, we got the most unbelievable views. The sun started to set, lighting up the clouds inside the crater, and we saw this family of giraffes just elegantly walking along the rim against that beautiful golden sunset. It was pure magic. Now, you'll want to pay close attention to these giraffes. They're part of a fun fact I'll share with you later. We stayed at a tented lodge right on the crater rim, the Angata Ngorongoro camp. And let me tell you, it gets pretty cold up there. But being bundled up in our tent, hearing the sounds of the wild animals just outside, it's an experience I will never forget. You're not just viewing the wild, you are literally in it. We had to get to bed early though, because the real adventure was going to start the next day at sunrise. The next morning, we were up before dawn, layered in clothes, and were one of the first jeeps to enter the gate. You can't just drive in, you have to descend this steep, winding 2,000-foot wall to get to the crater floor. The road is narrow, with a rocky track, and as we went down, we felt the air get warmer. The mist surrounded us, and it really felt like we were descending into a prehistoric, lost world. And then, as we reached the bottom, the world just opened up. It was like driving into a movie. The animal density there was insane. It's not like the Serengeti where you search for miles in the endless plains. Here, you're immediately surrounded. There were vast herds of gazelles and zebras and so many wildebeest. And then we saw the giants, a whole family of elephants. They were just casually walking by the road and we were closer than we had ever been before. There were these adorable baby elephants doing its best to keep up with its mother, and the whole family just moved with this slow, powerful grace. It was just incredible to be that close and feel that peaceful energy from them. We spotted few lions sleeping in the grass, just being lazy in the morning sun. And that was the main difference from the Serengeti. There, the world felt endless and vast, and here in the crater, it felt more concentrated and dense. It was also fun to watch a bunch of naughty baboons running around like crazy. And then in the shallow soda lake, we were just stunned. It was this sea of pink, thousands of flamingos. But they weren't alone. There were also huge flocks of white pelicans, all sharing this one space. We even spotted hyenas and jackals just trotting along completely at home. It was like every animal had its own place in this perfect protected ecosystem. But the real reason this place is so protected and so important is the black rhino. It's one of the most endangered animals on the planet. And this crater is one of the only places in the world where you're almost guaranteed to see one. Our guide was amazing, and after some careful searching, he even spotted a few black rhinos. Seeing a black rhino in the wild, safe in this incredible natural fortress, it was a moment we'll never forget. Okay, so I want you to think back. You've seen all the animals we just showed you, right? The lions, elephants, rhinos, buffaloes, all in one place. But what haven't we seen down here on the crater floor? Giraffes. Remember that family we saw at the sunset on the rim? You will not be able to find a single one down in the crater. And here's the fun fact our guide told us. The giraffes can't get into the crater. They're too tall and lanky, and their long legs just can't handle the steep rocky descent from the rim. So they're the only animal you'll find living on top, looking down at all the animals below. What a day it was! The Ngorongoro Crater was everything we dreamed of and more. It truly is a magnificent lost world, and it was a day that just recalibrated our sense of wonder. We saw so much, but our safari in Tanzania isn't over just yet. Stay tuned for our next video because the wildlife was only half the story. We'll show you our amazing cultural experience of visiting a Maasai boma. And then we'll take you to our final stop, the Tarangire National Park, the land of giants, famous for its ancient baobab trees and some of the largest elephant herds in all of Africa. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Thank you for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channels. Until then, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!